Death. Not an ideal pastime, right? And if you want to live a life full of, well, living, then you need to fast. At least, that's what many people believe for quite a few different reasons. Fasting has been a part of society for basically as long as society wasn't focused around Unga Bunga and fire. Yet, have you ever done it? I hadn't. And in more recent times, fasting is certainly not as prolific or seen in our culture at the very least. And let's be honest, partially for good reason. It sucks. Or does it?
Well, why don't I find out. I mean, I haven't actually got that much else on, so may as well. I've just eaten my dinner, quite late I know, and I've also had a club orange, wonderful piece of confectionery by the way, probably the best flavour. And as soon as I finish this malus domestica produce, or as humans will call it, an apple, I'm going to be fasting for exactly 24 hours, consuming nothing but water and the sweet, sweet oxygen that I need to survive. Wish me luck. Well, the apple is finished, and the second that this clock turns to 24, I am going to start the timer. The time is 10:24, and that will trigger the start of my fast. Okay, now we simply wait. It has to start exactly on the minute. Okay. All right, the 24 hours has begun. Wish me luck. Wait. What? It didn't work. Doritos? Oh man. It didn't work. Well, I suppose now the hard part begins, although for now, pretty much a normal evening.
This could render me unconscious. Like I said, I'm an inexperienced faster. I rarely ever miss a meal when I can help it, and I've certainly never missed all 4. I have a bowl of cereal before I go to sleep. As a result of this, I doubted my body would be ready for the shock of lack of sustenance, so I had to ensure that I wasn't just going to tip over and develop death the second I missed breakfast 1. To prepare, firstly, I had to eat lots of fruit and veg. Secondly, I had to eat plenty of protein. I had to try and get plenty of sleep, which, to be fair, I'm not very good at. I had to eat whole grain starches,
peanut butter bread. That's what the internet said.
And finally, I was meant to eat lots of low-fat dairy products.
Pear, low-fat, high-protein yogurt.
Which I didn't make a great job of.
Oh wait, I used the wrong yogurt. I used the fatty yogurt by accident. Oops. Oh well.
But at the present, I pretty much continued my evening as normal.
Brushing my teeth now.
I'm going to bed now. The time is exactly 12:01. It's really not been too hard yet. I mean, I've only been technically fasting for a couple hours, so not even that probably. So people would do this for 30 days, you know, a 30-day water fast. You have to do it supervised though, because of, you know, the whole death thing. 3 days without water, 30 days without food, and 3 minutes for oxygen. Fun fact. And on that bombshell, good night.
Morning. Well, that's quite nicely. Got down about 10 hours or so of the thing, of the fast. Now the day begins. But in like 5 minutes. Oh, that's just rubbing it in. Alright, I am about to head off on paper round now. So I've actually had like my first sort of hunger pang just then. Just before I'm sort of leaving, which is kind of unexpected because I don't normally eat very much before I do go on my paper round. I normally just have a little bit of cereal, just like a handful in my hand, and a bit of juice. So, kind of surprised, but I mean, hopefully the paper round will make it sort of go away as we do it. And if we're lucky, I won't get one when we're back, but I suspect I will. But anyway, no point worrying about that. Off we go. Not really sure if I'm going to need this coat.
Could fasting save your life? There's lots of different ways people fast. You can stop eating one type of food, you could eat and drink nothing, you can do relatively short water fast like me. If you drastically want to lose weight, Oracle Jimmy Donaldson, you could do a supervised 30-day water fast, or, probably most popularly, you could do intermittent fasting, where you have a regular schedule of eating and not. As fasting and its variations are beginning to grow in prevalence, scientific research has been carried out on its health benefits. They found quite a few, but the more prominent are perhaps that it may help to improve control of blood sugar levels, reducing the risk of diabetes. It may help enhance heart health by improving blood pressure, so reducing chance of heart disease, possibly even help prevent cancer, of course, help with weight loss, and apparently a decent bit more. I'll put a link to the website source in the description, but also fair warning, it may also make you grumpy and in general less likable as a human being. But yeah, fasting could help save your life. Okay, it is 11:32. We have done 13 hours and 8 minutes. Going strong. I actually don't feel hungry anymore. It's very nice indeed. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I admit I did just lie in bed for a little bit when I go back from paper round. But that seemed to get rid of the hunger pangs. So, I mean, success in that. Anyway, I've decided that we're going to go and wash my car now, because I think that'll be a good distraction. I need to do it. I can now I've finished my A-levels, and, well, I'll enjoy it. Okay, thankfully it has stopped raining. So let's get washing with this beauty. Alright, I have the initial wash water. So one perspective and take on fasting that I can talk about, as I am one, is the Christian take on fasting. So it's something that is definitely done within the religion. It's not something that's a commandment. It's not something you'll see as much as in other religions, such as like Islam and Ramadan, which I will talk about later actually. But pretty much unscathed. Yeah, so it's definitely something that is done throughout, and I mean, like, obviously it's throughout the Bible, like Jesus does it, 40 days and nights in the desert. So it's still something that is definitely important and is sort of assumed that will be done. And I have seen some people put it in a way that, it's something that should be done by Christians, but it's something that, you can't look at the world for it, you have to look at the Bible and the spiritual side. And fasting isn't something done in our consumerist culture, which I don't find entirely true, because I know there's lots of people that do it for, like, physical health benefits without even having a consideration of the religious side onto the front. So I don't think it's entirely fair or true to say that this is something solely, done by religious people for the sort of spiritual sense. Be gone, bird poo. But I suppose it's done, the contrast, the difference is sort of why it's done. So it's rather than it being the end results of trying to get the health benefits, it's more done because, whilst you're doing it, you replace the time every day where you eat, which is, a rhythm, a regular thing. You replace that with a focus on God, Bible and prayer. So I suppose that's it's a different reason for it. It's more of a current thing than an afterwards thing, a post results or whatever. And I suppose the other reason for it is it's sort of like done with the knowledge that when you in heaven there'll be unlimited and abundant food. So it's like a juxtaposition and a contrast between the two. The fasting now and the future when you don't have to. Those beautiful lights. So there's a verse in the Bible, Matthew 6 or 2 verses 16 to 18, where it says that you're meant to do your fasting quietly. So you're not really meant to tell people. You're meant to hide it and make it not obvious. So which I'm kind of not doing with this video, but different purposes, right? Yeah. So I suppose that's another perspective on fasting that I personally can talk about for you. So yeah, food for thought, if you will. Terrible choice of idiom. Alright, well, that is the car all done. Excuse me filming this on my phone. My camera's memory card ran out of storage. So we are going with the phone, but I think it looks, I think it looks probably better on camera than it does in real life. But, not a bad attempt, I'd say. It's also just started raining again, so that's probably not great, but hey. Alright, yeah, all done. I'm going to head inside and get lunch now. Oh wait, no I'm not. The time is currently 1:45 and I have done, I think it's 15 hours, 25 minutes or so now. And so I work with like a radio station, local radio station, well, relatively local. And I have like my own show and stuff, which is very cool. But they've just asked me now if I'm able to go in and pre-record, voice track someone's show for tomorrow. I haven't done it before, but there was meant to be someone else doing it and then able to. So they've asked me if I can go in and do it. And I said, sure. So in an unexpected turn of events, I am now going to go into a studio. So yeah, I mean, you can come. We'll go for a journey. I need to get fuel as well, so I'm going to drive the car, which does mean I've just cleaned it, and now we're going to go in the rain. Can you see the rain? I don't know if you can see the rain. And probably get it all dirty, but hey ho. It's a good distraction, I think, as well. I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. Not very hungry, which is nice. Have plenty of water, and yeah, we shall see what happens. Hello, I made it. I had an absolute stinker getting here. I couldn't find the car parking place. I haven't driven here before. And then I realised when I did find it, that I didn't have my keys to get in. So it's not gone great for me, but we're here now. My brain is sort of mush from the fasting, but we're here now, and we're going to do what we can. That is, of course, Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd, a rather difficult name to say there. But anyway, if you, like myself, enjoy sport, then I have good news for you, as it is time now for today's sports news. So let us see what is going on. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just say stuff. I don't know, man. Oh, I want to eat. I'm hungry. I can feel my brain. And as I was in town, getting here, yeah, I could smell the food from like various shops and cafes and food carts, and it's like, I want to eat, man. It's currently 3:10. Don't know what to look at because I'm recording on my phone. Oh, brother from another mother. Well, this is going to be something to pass the time, right? Just hope my stomach doesn't start rumbling on air. Excuse me, that's my stomach. He wants to say something. Ramadan. At this point in the video, my plan was for me to awaken my inner Louis Theroux, as yes indeed, my money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds, and for me to get in contact with a local mosque and ask if I could interview one of its members on Ramadan. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get past the contacting bit, which is fine because I understand people don't want to be interviewed on camera, that's all good. But I still wanted to talk about Ramadan because for me, whenever I think of fasting, I have a very high correlation with Muslims and with Ramadan. However, I am running out of time, as in 2 days from recording, I am going away for over a week and I will not be able to do any YouTube stuffs. I know, very sad. So instead, I decided that the only logical solution was to be saved by BBC Bite Size. Except because of a few copyright laws that I'm not entirely sure about, we are now going to learn what's interesting about Ramadan from BC Bike Sides. During the month of Ramadan, Muslims won't eat or drink during daylight hours, which of course is a type of fasting. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. The exact date of Ramadan is different each year, as Islam uses a calendar based on the cycles of the moon. In 2022 in the UK, Ramadan will begin in the evening of Saturday the 2nd of April and will end on Sunday the 1st of May. Most Muslims fast between dawn and sunset. In a somewhat similar vein to Christianity, fasting allows Muslims to devote themselves to their faith. It is thought to teach self-discipline and reminds them of the suffering of the poor. However, elderly people, pregnant women, those who are ill or travelling, and children until puberty and around about 14 don't have to fast. During Ramadan, it is common to have one meal, known as the suhoor, just before dawn, and another, known as the iftar, directly after sunset. This means that participating Muslims can be fasting from 10 to 19 hours a day, depending on location and time of year. The end of Ramadan is marked by a big celebration called Eid el-Fitr, the festival of the breaking of the fast. Mosques hold special services and a special meal is eaten, which is the first daytime meal for a month. During Eid, Muslims dress in their finest clothes, give gifts to children, and spend time with family and friends. Muslims will also look to give money to charity at Eid. From the relatively small amount of research I've done, it seems that for most, Ramadan isn't a chore, but it's something that's looked forward to. And if managed well, eating the right foods at the dedicated meals, it's something that can be managed and not too strenuous. However, there is a bit of research that shows that Ramadan fasting can have a negative impact on athletes. So it decreases endurance, speed, agility, stuff like that, which isn't too surprising, I suppose, and it isn't necessarily applicable to too many people anyway. An actual interview would, of course, have been a bit better. I did have a few questions I wanted to ask someone, like, how tempting is it to break the fast when you're doing it? Do you really have to pay a sort of goodwill fee if you do break the fast? And just what's the most difficult part you find from it? I feel like personally, I'd really struggle with not being able to drink any water or anything during it. And pretty sure a lot of people would struggle with that too, but there might be someone who's Muslim in the comments. I'd be happy to answer those questions and any others that anyone else may have, so we shall see. And also, hopefully that was still interesting for you. I mean, certainly I did not know a lot of that stuff for my research today. So today I have fulfilled the prophecy of you learn something new every day. Hello. I will admit I am quite tired and hungry now. I mean, I got my dressing gown nice and warm, but yeah, I'm just thinking about food all the time, actually. Not helpful that I was scrolling for YouTube Shorts and most of it was food based. So yeah, it's probably not helping my appetite, but I might go for a little walk to distract myself. And apparently chewing gum can help suppress your appetite, especially how much snacking you do and stuff. So I'm gonna go for a walk, buy some chewing gum. I think that'll be the next thing I do. Hello again. It is 7:30 and I've done 21 hours, 3 more to go, and then we can eat. I'm happy about that. Anyway, yes, I'm quite bored and I'm quite hungry, so I decided that I'm going to call my mate George/Chiram, this man right here, see if he actually picks up, and I don't know, just see what he's doing. You can't see my phone because it's got his number on it. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello. All right. I'm bored and I need distracting, so I thought I would call you. And I don't know. What are you doing at this time and place?
I'm just eating M&Ms.
M&Ms. Great.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Different flavours. Well, not flavours. Different colours.
Mhm.
I got it here. Just recently. I got a blue one here.
Great. Yeah.
That tastes good.
Yeah. Any doing anything else?
I might have chicken pie later, I think.
You're gonna have chicken pie?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to know actually. What have you done today? I'm sure you've done something today.
Yeah, I had lunch as well, a bit earlier. Pretty good. Breakfast too. Just a whole lot of eating. Eating's good, you know. It's fun.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah. Have you been eating much today?
I hung up on him. That was enough of that, I think. Hello. The time is Hello. Well, the last hour has been entered and it is progressing through, and it is about 6 or 7 minutes past 10, which means in less than 20 minutes I will be able to eat for the first time in 24 hours. Exciting stuff right there. Well, so I need to do a little wrap up, I suppose, on how I found it, fasting for the first time ever. So I'd be lying if I said I enjoyed it, but I am actually really glad I did it. It wasn't fun to say, you know, it wasn't like an enjoyable experience whilst doing it, but I think I'll be quite glad after I finished. I think it will feel like a bit of a sort of a purge and a reset of my body. I did find that for the majority of the time I didn't actually feel like hungry. You know, when you're building up to that dinner, you feel the hunger, and actually you just sort of get like 3 or 4 like, you know, major pangs of hunger throughout the day, and if you can push through those without eating, then that's sort of the hardest bit done. So overall it's actually, you know, on that side of things, it's not as bad as you might think. You definitely are hungry,
but, you know, it's not what I expected to be like, you know, a constant state of hunger. So, well, the effects I did feel is I definitely, on the latter half of the day, I felt weaker. So physically, I just felt, you know, a little bit sort of like I couldn't do things as much. And I did feel tired. Yeah, I found that the main thing was my head. I felt like a little bit like my mind was a bit messy and a bit detached. Like when I was driving in to go to the radio station earlier, and as I'm speaking, you know, I'm a little bit. But as I was driving in, yeah, I hadn't gone there before and trying to find the parking spot and forgetting my keys and just doing things, I did find my mind is a little bit not entirely there. Yeah, but there are definitely periods throughout the day where you think, oh, I could just eat, I don't do it. But once you manage to push through those, that's sort of the hard bit done, then it's all right. One thing I did find is that it's actually hard to just break the habit of eating, like not consciously thinking, oh, I'm going to, you know, go and eat now and I'm going to break the fast. It's just like, it's such a regular and habitual thing throughout my days that, you know, you just eat. So I think that's actually weird. It's like, I think maybe that's to an extent a good thing to do, is the self-control and the change of habit, which is an interesting thing. I didn't expect to like suddenly like subconsciously make my way to getting food and have to just like stop myself, but I guess there's a factor throughout it. But it is something I recommend you do, of course, if you're over 18 and not pregnant and not diseased or have health problems, and there's a few other reasons as well, so you'd want to check that first. But I mean, even if you didn't do like a 24-hour fast, I would recommend you try it actually. So yeah, I'm glad I did it, but I must say I'm looking at my watch, I'm very ready to eat. Yeah, I mean, that's not entirely surprising, I'd imagine. So it has been a long day, but I think it's been worth it. And yeah, I can eat in, you know, about 10 minutes. Very exciting stuff. I think I shall go downstairs, get ready to eat, tuck in my bib, and away we go. See you in a sec. Well, 24 hours. Absolutely smashed it. And now I can eat. What a weird sensation. I haven't done that in a day. Do excuse me. I'm going to have my dinner. Well, we're coming properly full circle. The intro to the video is me making beans without making beans, and now I have actual beans. How exciting. Bye bye.